Assalamualaikum, salam sejahtera, and a very good afternoon to all. Welcome back to MEPN's HR webinar series. We are now in our third segment, and today we're going to talk about strategic human capital planning post-COVID. I'm sure all of you here as company owners or working in the HR department, we find that we have a lot of issues, after COVID, after post-COVID, after MCO. And so we need some kind of guidance or direction on how we can best cope with this. And today, this afternoon, we have with us two speakers. One, Mr. Chan, needs no introduction. He's the expert, subject matter expert with MEPN. And then Mr. Yue, he is, hi Mr. Yue. He is the owner and also the president of two associations, vice president and president of two associations. So without much further ado, I'd like to introduce Mr. Chan. Mr. Chan is subject matter expert of MEPN, Sectoral Training Committee and Industry Experts Committee, appointed by HRDC. He's a member of Industry Lead Body, appointed by JPK. He's a licensed radiation protection officer and counseling psychologist. So he's very, very well versed in HR. He's a good person to help us. So today, let's hear from you, Mr. Chan. The floor is yours.
Thanks to you, Mimi. Thanks for your compliments. So I would like to share my slide. Okay, this is my slide. Yeah. I would like to introduce myself again. Yes, my name is Chan. Nice to meet you. Okay, so let's talk about the stage of economy cycles. So we understand that the economy ups and down and it repeats over the years. And look at the chart. In the year of 2014, it's going up. Then for the first quarter of 2016, it's going down again, and we're going up and going down again. So we reached the bottom in the last 2 years. Yeah, so finance minister saying that Malaysia on recovery path supported by reopening of economy, confident of better growth in 2022. So the question is, are you ready for the next wave of growth? So before we say yes, so let's take a look at the common HR problem in SME. So common HR problem, for example, layoff when the economy is down, hiring when the economy is recovering, and also one leakage is sound quite familiar, right? And also talking about provide a fixed salary, they have no any others allowances, only fixed salary. Talking about the learning and development wise, only apply mentor-mentee training programs. So also facing another problem, something like difficult to attract talents, get information flood, especially during a lockdown period, too much of information. And of course, the risks and losses are there. But today we are not going to discuss about the risks and losses, but we are talking about the strategies. Okay, so look at the changes in HR management. So a common practice among SME is that employers delegate human resource tasks to junior clerical staff. The tasks of HR function are limited to routine jobs such as payroll, leave applications, attendance record, personal file storage, and so on. But thankfully, the assistance of modern technologies has helped us to solve many daily problems, especially in these repetitive tasks. Payroll, right now we can do it e-payroll. So EPF, they have this kind of software. Leave application as well, we can do it e-leave application. We can apply leave anywhere and anytime. All this data will be recorded automatically. Like attendance record as well. Currently, we are using MySejahtera. This is one type of attendance record. Yeah, so we can use it in our daily job. Performance appraisal, we can make it E as well. For example, field service management is type of performance appraisal software. We can record the performance of our field service personnel. So this is something very advanced, and we have to adapt all this. So it will take about 1 to 2 years to reach the payback period. With the assistance of MPC, the government agency, and also the MEIF, the industrial federations, the payback period will be more attractive. So let's move to E instead of hiring a few executives to do it manually. Yeah, so talk about the changes. Human resource management is evolving into a more strategic-based profession. It focuses on something cannot be replaced by technology. Also, it's not a routine job. For example, HR strategic partners, we are focusing on labor productivity and humanized management, people-oriented managerial strategies. So HR strategy plan consists of cultures, recruitment and selection, and so on, and we will discuss it one by one later. Okay, come into a very interesting topic, that is historical review. We review the history, then we learn the lesson. Later on, we explore the new directions. So we use this Qin dynasty as one of the benchmark. It happened in 221 to 206 before Christ. So do you know about Terracotta Army? Or maybe the Great War. It built in 221 before Christ. Great War is one of the 7 wonders of the world. It happened during Qin dynasty. So talking about the expansion of Qin dynasty is quite interesting. Initially, the Qin state is a poor country. It's located in inland. Yeah, you can look at the map. The location is relatively not strategic, does not have much natural resources. But however, the Qin state had evolved to become the most powerful of 7 major states in China. And Qin War of Unification only took about 26 years. How they can success in unification of China states? Let's get a deeper understanding of what they did and know their secret of success. Okay, so we talk about the cultures. The culture of Qin dynasty, it changed from slavery system to feudal system. So what is the meaning of slavery system? We look at here, it means that he was a slave until the end of his life. His next generation is also a slave, means that he cannot change his life. But feudal system is something different. Due to his contribution, he has the opportunity to have better quality of life. So, a question is talking about labor productivity. Which one better? Yeah, I believe that you have the answer. Of course, we will choose the second. Am I right? The conclusion is, it means that if employee thinks that I'm working for others, the result will not be there. On the other hand, if employee believe that what they are doing is for their own, employee work hard for it. Okay, take a look our current work practices. Does this sound familiar? The concept is not much different with salary system. Okay, the reason I said that is, in order to increase the production output, we have to increase number of employees. So we call it as labor intensive. But it doesn't mean that the labor productivity will be increased. But something I'm sure that is the financial burden will be increased. The more employees you have, the heavier the financial burdens, especially in time of economic downturn. Just for example, during the salary system, they have no food to eat. So the ideal formula is increase the production output, increase the labor productivity, but reduce the financial burdens. So how to make it? We look at our current new norm. Okay, new norm, due to COVID-19 pandemic, we have to work from home. We realize that location of work is no longer geographically limited. We can meet our clients and colleagues virtually. The most important is they are also prefer to do it virtually. So with the assistance of overall equipment effectiveness, OEE, SCADA system, and industry IoT, management does not need to stay in the factory all the time. So look at the culture of organization, back to the reality. The boss is the only decision makers. Yeah, traditional way we are practicing like this, but it doesn't work during this new norm. So what we need to do is to build a culture of accountability. All of us must take the responsibility and account of accountability. Yeah. So the question is how to build up the sense of accountability. So we look at the second strategy, which is recruitment and selection. Okay, we use Qin dynasty as one of the example again. Okay, a keyword over here, as Qin peasants were recruited into military. Qin encouraged active migration of peasants from other countries into Qin as a replacement workforce. So from there, we have some keywords over here. The first is talking about Qin peasants were recruited into the military. What is the reason? Why only Qin peasants but not peasants come from other countries? The important point over here is the loyalty. Qin citizen, peasant, they are willing to fight for their countries. Okay, the second point over here is talking about active migration of peasants from other countries into Qin. The first thing, active migration, because they do not limit the number of recruits. Okay, they're trying to get talents as many as possible. And then the second keywords over here is peasant. Why only peasant but not others occupation, for example, like businessman, tailor, and so on? The reason is it meets the objective of Qin dynasty. And also because peasants, they have the past experience, they have this competency, they know how to do farming very well. So it's trying to encourage the agricultures. We know that food is the key success factor in winning the war. So that is the reason Qin dynasty trying to encourage these agricultures, try to get peasants as many as possible. Right person doing the right job. Okay, so definition of parents. Yeah, we talk about as a parents, we have to show loyalty. They must have a certain number of years of experience. They must have showing a good attitude, blah, 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 and so on. But talking about the recruitment strategy, what is the definition of parents? We can also referring to Qin dynasty. The first thing is don't limit the number of recruits. Just for example, it's just like you found a house or real estate with great potential for appreciation. Do you want to do investment? I believe your answer is yes, right? Yeah. So competency as well. And the third is talking about they are willing to fight for the company. So it means that they will get the sales for your companies. And the quality of product can be guaranteed because the workers, the employees, they are willing to do the job for the company. And the most important is to meet the core value of the company. For example, integrity, teamwork is your core value, is your company core value. Means that your candidate must have these characteristics. So look at the right person doing the right job. How powerful that is. Look at this, take a look, this photo. Yeah, if asking the monkey to climb the tree, I think it should be not a problem. But how about penguin, elephant, and even a fish? I don't think they can climb the tree like monkey, am I right? So that is the power of right person doing the right job. Okay, let's go through this, the compensation and benefit strategies. Okay, again, we're back to Qin dynasty. There are 2 points over here is quite important. The first is as long as the person cultivated more than 3 acres of wasteland and planted it for 5 years, the piece of land would be awarded to the person. Okay, ask ourselves, we understand that land is a limited and valuable resources of the country. Why does Qin reward it to the peasant? Yeah, what is the reason? The answer is quite simple, because you own the land and you will stay in the country permanently and contribute to the country. So second point, second bullet is talking about 90% of the crops belongs to them, belongs to the peasant, and 10% of the crops will be contributed to the government. Is that ridiculous? Because 90% of the crop belong to them, and only 10% belongs will be contributed to government. Is that unfair? But the answer is quite simple, because the more productive you are, the more you will get, and the country will be benefited too. For example, if you have 10 tons of crops, the government charge 100%, means there are only 10 tons at most, but you have no food to eat. Are you willing to work for it? Yeah. But however, if you have 100% of crops, the government will get 10% of the total, and it will be 10 done as well. So the concept is over there. So can we apply in our workplace? Yes, definitely that is. For example, the first point, maybe we can change it, become as long as the person meet the KPI of the companies and working in the company for a certain number of years, the share of the company will be awarded to the person. What is the reason? Because we want to retain the talent. We want him to contribute to the company. And the second bullet point is talking about 90% of crops belong to them. Yeah, it seems like unfair, but that is the essential of productivity linked wages system, PRWS. That is a very good strategy, especially in new norm. As we know, many of employees working in a workplace, working in their from home, and also they have no more office there. For example, like MPC staff, yeah, they're working at anywhere. They are not necessarily going to MPC, the building itself. So how to monitor their productivity? So that is the reason of PRWS. That is the most important and also quite strategic. And the more productive you are, and the more you will get. Profit and loss sharing. It's not only talking about profit itself, losses also. Okay, so talk about the legal compliance. My question over here, look at the war. Yeah, what force is driving the army to move forward courageously and fearlessly? This is a full question. I would like to get your feedback, your response. Yeah, can you see the full questions? Yeah, I would like to know about your opinions. Yeah, what force is driving that? Or maybe I trying to give another questions. Yeah, do you know about Squid Games? It's a very popular movie nowadays. Yeah, a Korean movie. You can actually get it from Netflix. So my question is, what force is driving the participants to move forward courageously and fearlessly? There are total 456 participants, as you know, right? So yeah, as you know, the punishment is quite harsh. Yeah, so the reward also quite attractive. Yeah, so what is the force driving them? Yeah, okay, I saw the result. Okay, so I would like to end the poll now. Okay, so I share the result over here. They have this 44% of participants talking about the attractiveness of generous rewards. Yeah, and they have 30% of participants talking about the harsh punishment. Yes, you are right. Another 44% saying that both. Okay, great. Thanks for your response. Okay, so we look at here. The point over here is the higher the reward, the stricter the rules, and also the harsher the punishment. Yeah, so as you know, in the war and also just now the movie, they have the rewards and also the punishment and the rules as well. But the thing is, we will be more motivated and willing to sacrifice because of that reward and also because of that punishment, we're willing to sacrifice. Yeah, remember that the important is we must balance both of them. If the carrot is more than the stick, we will stay in the comfort zone and be unwilling to make any changes. Yeah, if just giving reward without punishment or maybe without any rules, we will stay in the comfort zone. On the other hand, if there are more stick than carrots, we will quit from the game. That is the reason of high staff turnover rate happen in our workplace. Because too much of punishment, people just run away. Yeah, that's the reason. Rules, talking about rules, I highlighting over here internal, external. Internal is talking about, for example, our company rules and so on. External, especially during this new norm, we have to comply many rules. For example, like rules come from KKM, MEPN, and so on. So we have to comply all this. If not, the punishment is there. Okay. So go to learning and development. Okay, Huawei. So I use this as one of the benchmark. Huawei initially focused on manufacturing phone switches, and now the company became the first company worldwide to launch the industry first 5G commercial chips. How they can make it? What is the secret of success? Okay, from there, we know that Huawei, they have this ICT Academy. They have also Huawei Cloud Academy. All this is actually a platform for their employee, for their vendor to have self-developments. But for SME, I understand that we are not afford to do so, definitely. Yeah, and also because of this COVID-19 affected us. Yeah, and we have no much budget to invest in human capital development. We understand all this, but no worry, that is not an obstacle. Please come and join us. We have our MEIF, Tibet strategic partners, for example, NSA, DZS, HRTC, Kismet, and so on. They are our Tibet strategic partners. They sign MOU with us. They meet our requirement. They can close the skill gaps. That is the reason we work closely with them. And in addition, we have these MEPN training courses as well. For example, Industrial Lean Apprentice. So we're helping them, we're helping the industrial players how to set up a Lean. Yeah, as we know, Lean is the prerequisite to Industrial 4.0. Before we talk about all this automation, digitalizations, Industrial 4.0, please do the groundwork first, means Lean. Make everything Lean. That is the courses available and without any charges. So MyReskill IoT, the IoT sensor will be given to the participating company, and DDTM, SolidWorks 3D license, we will give it to the participating company as well without any charges, because the main issue over here is we want to help the industrial players to grow. Yeah, talking about the fourth AI for SME as well. This AI training kit sponsored by Intel, and we work together with EEPN, also MIDA. We work together, we have only one objective, is to increase the labor productivity of industry players. I have no any hidden agenda, so please join us. Okay, talk about the performance management. Okay, again, back to Qin dynasty. Okay, they have 3 bullet points over here. The first, assigning land to army based upon their military success and stripping nobility unwilling to fight of their land right. So from there, we know that the reward and punishment are clear. They make it very transparent. So performance management, we have to make it very transparent. So we know that what is the reward and what is the punishment. Yeah, the second bullet point is talking about the only way to upgrade your level from slave to nobility is participants in the war and win in the war. So that we are just look at your contributions, but not your family background, your education background, not any others, just contribution. And the third bullet point is talking about there is no reward for winning in a war, no reward. Only by cutting off the enemy head will you be rewarded. So it means the contribution is not a measure. Every one of us as employee, we are contributing, but that is not the measure. The most important is the achievement. You can work for the company for 10 or 20 years, but the most important is your achievement. Yeah, so yeah, this is the thing. Remember the keywords here, SMART, specific, measurable, achievable, realistic, and timely. Okay. So back to succession planning. Okay, again back to Qin dynasty. The Qin dynasty was the first dynasty of Imperial China, lasting from 221 to 206 before Christ. Its 15 years was the shortest major dynasty in Chinese history, consisting of only 2 emperors. So surprisingly, Qin Shi Huang, the first emperor, he had about 50 children. He's about 30 sons and 15 daughters. But the succession planning is not really no, just saying that not so good yeah. So yeah, so for us, this is a lesson. We have to learn from the lessons, and we should learn it from the football team. Always remember that substitutes are not just player marks for in case of an emergency. That is not. They are an integral part of the team and can have drastic effect on the output of the games. So that is the reason we have this assistant CEO, assistant general manager, assistant manager, and so on. because we want to make sure the company running smoothly. Yeah. So human resource information system. Again, I talk about this. Right now, we have to focusing on something cannot be replaced by technologies, and also there's not a routine job. As our strategic partners, we are focusing on labor productivity. We have to always think about Kaizen, how to make it better, how to increase the labor productivity by technology or by anything else. Lean data is the second one. We always talking about lean manufacturing. Yeah, but how about lean data? So my question is, have you experienced that you're trying to find a file, yeah, but you're trying to get it, but you can't make it, you can't search it for half an hour, and you try to search by keyword, you can't get it as well. Yeah, you waste a lot of time. Waste, yeah, is one of the lean. So that is the reason we have to lean the data. Then later on, we can talk about the standardize all this data, HR data in the same platform. Then we can call it as a big data management. The second thing is humanized management, technology-based professions. Employee welfare is one of very good example. For example, like something like employee always take MC. So from the reason of the applications and the MC, so we can have all this data, we know the health condition of the person. Competency as well. From the performance, from the quality of work, we can identify the skill gaps, and we can put the effort to close the skill gaps. Yeah, grants application is another point. Recently announced by the government talking about this PSU program subsidy UBA. That is a very good program for us to retain our parents. And also vaccinations, because we know about PCAS, we can actually doing reimbursement as well. We can send the receipt to HRTC, HRT Corp, formerly known as HRTF, so we can get the reimbursement as well. We have many grants available in the market and offered by government agencies. So we have to know all this and work closely with government agencies so we can increase the labor productivity at the same time, retain the talents, and reduce the financial burdens of the company. Okay, so thank you very much. This is my slide. So I saw many questions over here, so we will answer it later on. Thank you so much. Yeah, pass to you, Mimi. Thank you.
Yes. Thanks, Chan. Thank you so much, for this very, very, is an eye-opener about using history, looking back into history to actually formulate and find a strategy and how we can improve our HR management. Yeah. And now, without much further ado, I think we'll go to the next speaker, Mr. Yue Khin Meng. He's the Vice President of Malaysia Machinery and Engineering Industries Federation. He's also the President of Malaysia Special Tooling and Machining Association, Director, General Manager of Hing Engineering Works in Berhad, and he's also the work group leader of MEPN, appointed by MPC. Now he's going to actually, tell his story on how he managed to retain productivity, all right, despite all the talent issues, despite all the issues that cropped up during the pandemic. Mr. Yee, the floor is yours.
Thank you. Thank you, Mimi. Okay, next slide, please. Okay, first of all, I'd like to introduce our association, the Malaysian Special Tooling and Machinery Association, formerly was known as the Malaysian Mold and Die Association. And even before that, it was called the Selangor and Federal Territory Mold and Die Association. Today, our association is 28 years old, and we have about 142 members. MSTMA is also a member of the Machinery Equipment Industrial Federation. And we are also in the work group for the Machinery and Equipment Productivity Nexus. Okay, next slide, please. Now I introduce a little bit of my company. Hing Engineering works in Referral Program. Hing started in 1969. Today we are 52 years old, and today we also have certifications such as the ISO 9000 and also the 1400s. The company specialized in the rubber tire mold manufacturing, and we mainly for export, and about 90% of our production is for the export market, mainly to Europe, USA, Japan, South America, and the ASEAN countries. Our customers are people like Continental, Goodyear, Pirelli, Toyo, and many others. Okay, next slide, please. Okay, now here we will look at the impact of the MCO on the company and its how we overcome this strategy. First of all, is the manpower issue that occurred during the MCO. Now on the challenges. During the MCO, a lot of jobs are not available because during the lockdown, a lot of customers just move away the order to other countries. Move away to other countries, and this is a problem. And for us, then because of the only 60% of total workforce is allowed to work, this is another major challenge for most of the manufacturing sectors in Malaysia. And we are lucky that initially we are able to operate at 60% because the METI, with the METI approval, the mold and die sector was allowed to operate. And on March 2020, our total workforce then was about 450 employees. Then with the 60% total workforce allowed, we have about almost 270 employees to operate, but we have to produce the same normal production capacity of 80% at least, because the customers have already given us the order, and our lead time is only 6 to 8 weeks from delivery. So you can imagine with the first lockdown of something like 6 to almost 10 weeks, so completely the production went haywire. So we do have to surrender some of our orders, and also we have to be very quick in reorganizing ourselves. Then today, actually today we only have about 350 employees. So even if it's at 60%, it's only 210. So again, this year in 2021, during the MCO3, we actually only have 200 over employees in the plant, and we still have to produce back almost the 80 or 90% of what we will be doing those days. So then we also do a lot of problems during the lockdown. We are supposed to have, let's say, example, 300 over employees to come back to work, but maybe only about half of them are able to come back, because a lot of them are from other states. So when they went back during the first lockdown, they are unable to return to the city. So this is one of the main challenge how to make them come back to the city. And then also we have to deliver on time. So this is something which we did with a lot of this work from home, especially so from the CAD/CAM and the admin and the management are all working from home. Only the operative are in the plant. As for strategy, as you can see, the work from home strategy was mainly on the CAD area. CAD initially was only the CAD and the admin and some management. Then later, when the lockdown was extended, we start to move even our workstation back to home, so to do some CAM. Because the machines in the factory, without programming from the CAM, you just can't operate. So the work from home, during the work from home, we also have to purchase quite a lot of extra desktop or laptops, because we have to let them carry it home to work. And then so strategy of maintaining high productivity despite reduction of workforce, what we did was we actually do a lot of what we call upskilling, and also at the same time job rotation in the plant. That means, for example, a person who's doing milling or lathe, after their process is over, they move on to other kind of machines operation. So this will help us to cut down the number of the labor. Then we also produce work from home clock in. During the work from home, we also allow our workers to clock in and clock out. And actually, this strategy of clock in, clock out is quite efficient when they work from home, because they don't have to travel, and you can see they actually are very focused when they work from home, especially on the CAD area and the CAM area. Then the adjustment on the salary, we also consider during the work from home. So those during the MCO, those who are working from home, they have a little bit small pay cut, like 15 to 20% pay cut. Whereas those are present in the plant, they are paid full pay. Okay, next slide, please. Now, next, this is the learning and development strategy. Here on the challenges, you see during the first lockdown, we lost about 22% of our skilled workforce during the first MCO. Then now, as you know, many employees are reluctant to adopt new technology also. So that's why what we did was we do a lot of upskilling, retraining, and then as you see on the solution, we do a lot of job rotation. Then we also collaborated with these TVET institutions, because at the same time during this period, they also launched a lot of upskilling and reskilling kind of training, where our where those employees are not in the plant, we can direct them to do some training, extra training over there. Then come to the new norm. New norm on the digitization and automation. Actually, in Samheng, we started digitization and automation quite early. In the year 1990, we were already having CAD/CAM and also 5-axis machining in our plant. And every year we invest in 5-axis machining, a lot of CNC machines. Today we have over 100 sets of various types of CNC equipment in our plant. Then also on the, we actually have about 2%, we use about 2% of our annual salary. We use this to train, to invest back into the human capital training. We spend this money to retrain them or upgrade, or they attend courses. So this is where we do a lot of upskilling. Okay, next. On here, I like to explain a bit on the benefits and compensation strategy we use. Now, in Samheng, as you know, we under the new norm, such as work from home, and the complete change of work ideas starts to come in. So for a solution, what we do is for solutions, what we do is, for example, how to retain and attract more workers to stay and work for the company. This is one of the major challenges during the MCO. Now, for us, our remuneration packages is mainly based on productivity-linked wage system. In Samheng, all these years, we are running this, and as what we have is our remunerations package is adjusted twice a year. That means in the month of January and the month of July. Because every year, instead of, for example, you want to increase, let's say 6 or 8% of their income, you split it into 2. Instead of 6, we move it to 3 in January, another 3 in July. This is how we adjust. We also have the productivity incentive scheme. Here, what we do is we look at each individual productivity. First, we look at the section, then we look at the individual. Then, if everybody meets their target, then everybody will get this productivity incentive. And this is awarded every 3 months, the productivity incentive. Just like earlier, what Mr. Chan was saying. And also on the remuneration area, we also have a lot of during, for example, if there are new staff or new people coming to join Samheng, during the interview, we already highlight to them what they are expected to do, for example, in the next 3 to 5 years, and what they themselves, can they achieve that kind of target or not? So we will work along with them and explain to them. So this is how we keep our productivity. But also the small businesses, it's easier to control this kind of productivity incentive scheme, because the number of staff is less and is more easy to control. Next, please. Okay, here we are looking at the recruitment strategy. On the recruitment strategy, first of all, the ratio of the direct employee to indirect employee, manager, staff to employee. Example, we are in Hing, we actually have a very flat organization, meaning start off with the board of directors, then we come down, we have about 8 managers. Then after this, then we have 24, we call this the section head. After the section head, then we have about 35 of these are the line leaders. And under the line leaders are the workers. This is how our organization is being organized. And about 22% of the workforce is foreign workers. And during this MCO time, in fact, the government also implemented the Act 466. That means the housing for the foreign workers is actually a problem for most of us. But for us, we are a bit lucky because most of my foreign workers, we have given them apartments when they joined us years ago. So this is something we can control. Then we also used a lot of referral, meaning referral program, meaning we call our existing employee, because we do a lot of internal promotion. Then after that, we also advise or inform our employee that whenever there is a vacancy, if they have friends or relatives, they can introduce them to us. So this is the referral program we implement. Because also we have a lot of our employees are from the training centers such as ILP, MARA, and all these kind of training colleges. Then for the recruitment strategy for local talent, normally this is we have break them down into various levels when they come in for interview. So for example, if they are SPM or certificate or diploma or degree, we will interview them differently. And also we have what we call during the apprenticeship training, during the apprenticeship first 3 months, we normally have we use buddy system. That means they are placed under a senior, and the senior will work with them for the next 3 months. And after 3 months, the senior will report their performance to the HR. Then only we will move them up to other section of the plant. This is how we do. And then for the foreign workers, for the last maybe 2 years, we have not bring in any, because just that this during the pandemic time of the COVID-19, just that no foreign workers can come in. So basically, on the foreign labor, we still use the same number. We have a total about 20% of our workforce is foreign labor. Then for this, we also work very closely with a lot of these TVET institutions, like IKBN, IOP, MARA, Tatt College, or Taib now they call themselves, and then So basically, a lot of my employees are from this area. Okay. Next. Okay. On this advice for the industry newcomers, such as entrepreneur or job seekers. In fact, this machinery or machinery and equipment, or the mold and die sector, actually is the mother of all engineering. If you look at almost everything you use on top of your table is produced by a mold. For example, the handphone, the mouse, or the phone, all this. So the mold and die sector actually is a very, very huge industry. So to adapt to the new norm, here you see we are talking about adapting the business to the new norm with high labor productivity. Now, at this moment, the labor cost of Malaysia is still an advantage even in ASEAN. In ASEAN, the labor cost there's an advantage here because our minimum pay is still manageable. And they are moving from 1,002 to 1,005 soon. Next is in the mold and die industry at this moment, the price of raw material is really hurting us because from April to now, for example, just the petroleum, the barrel of oil, from $40 over, they shoot to almost $85 today. This is going to hurt us very badly. Then also the worker had to get. You see, at this moment, we also are looking at a lot of automation to help our industry. So we still need a lot of workers in the automation area, and also on the engineering, also, for example, on mechatronics. So all these are the job seekers that area that you can work. For example, if you are studying mechatronics, or you're studying engineering, all this field, there is still a lot of vacancy because most of us are short of labor at this moment. And also, always we need to improve on our productivity by reskilling, by rotation, and also this in-house training. We produce a lot of in-house training. Then for the career advice for job seekers, as I said just now, there are a lot of area the mold and die industry or the machinery and equipment industry still needs them. So for example, welders, machinists, CAD/CAM operators, and we also collaborate with, as I said earlier, we also collaborate with a lot of government agencies such as TVET institutions and industrial associations. Here, you see, when we collaborate with the government agencies, for example, with Maltrade, we have a lot of, actually, Maltrade provide a lot of assistance in how, for example, if you are a small company and you have not been in the export market, actually Maltrade can guide you all the way to export. They even provide training, they even provide the financing and all that. Then as for the during the MCO lockdown, actually, our association, we also work very closely with MIDA and MEPN, in order that our members, can operate with all those SOP and with the restricted number of headcount. We are a bit lucky. They allow us to operate. And then on the improvement of productivity, we are also working very closely with MPC, the Malaysian Productivity Corporation. In fact, they have many courses or many types of things that help you to improve your productivity. So this is a very good. On the upskilling, we work very closely with TVETs, for example, like IKBN, ILPs, and all this, where we send our workers there for training, and we also recruit their people for internship, and then we also employ their trainees. So, lastly, this industry, there is still a lot of future, because, for example, at this moment, in my business at this moment, for example, the electric vehicle, the electric vehicle market is growing very fast now. In fact, the last 2 years, almost every car maker are launching at least 1 or 2 models on this electric vehicle. And the electric vehicle industry is growing very fast, also because of the environment and climate problem in the world. So basically, with the electric vehicle market launching, a lot of our mold makers are very busy at this moment. Even the electrical, the semicon industry are doing tremendous good business at this moment because of electric vehicle. Okay, so that's all for my talk. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Yee. Okay, it's really good to share with us the best practices and your experience during this post-pandemic and also before, during the crisis, the MCO. Now, I have one question here from the, from the participant. They're asking, I think this one is to Chan. Chan, where are you? Chan. Okay, welcome back.
Hello. Yeah.
Okay, they're asking, all right, this Qin dynasty, they're more like dictator. They meaning that they control the workers to a point. Now, I'm sure in our new HR management, we cannot afford to do that, right? This is not the way how we deal with people. People are sensitive. People, they are also our success. Without people, we don't have success, because they are the one who make sure things happen for us, for the people who actually, like the owners of the business. Yeah. So how do we really relate to the Qin dynasty in terms of that particular area of them, which is being dictators? How can we extract the best practice from there?
Yeah, a very good question. Yeah, of course, that is a history. We should learn it from them, the good lesson and bad lesson. Yeah, we should not learn it 100% from them, because they're doing some mistake as well. So regarding the people management, because of the cultures difference, as I mentioned just now, the filter system is quite advanced at that moment, but nowadays definitely is not really good. Yeah, we are prefer others cultures, because time changing from time to time. Previously, yes, they are working very hard, and during that time, all of them, they are suffering because of no food to eat and others. But nowadays, the things different because of the technology and so on. We have to adapt all this new norm. Same time, because of the new generation, they know all this technology very well. So their thinking, their mindset is totally different. So this is something we have to change. The most important thing is change. We understand that change is the most important, and we have to do so. Yeah, because of the new norm, and we have to change as well, especially in people management. So talking about people management, different characteristics, and we have to deal it differently. So that is the reason we have the first and second webinar earlier on is talking about the brain. Yeah, we know that how to deal with the different generations, Gen X, Gen Y, and so on. So this is something we have to learn it from, and this is a knowledge, and especially nowadays, because of the new workforce, new generations come to the market, employment market, we have to deal with different kind of peoples, and we can not just showing that because I have the experience, I am a competent person, you have to follow me. It cannot be like that. So we have to do things differently, but no worries, all these things can be learned. And welcome to join our MEPN activities. Yeah, I would like to grab this opportunity to do some promotion. Yeah, we have all these series of activities. Please highlight it, talk to us, and we can arrange it. Yes, thanks a lot. Hope that answers your question, Mimi.
Yeah. Okay. Now to both of you, all right. Should rewards be group-based, or should it be to individual? Mr. Yee, about in your company, how do you actually give rewards, in terms of a activity?
Now, for us, the reward is across the board. Across, that means not to one individual and not just to a certain group, but it's across the board. How we do it is we actually look at the throughput of the company for that period. For example, every 3 months, we look at our turnover. And if our turnover is achievable, then everybody will get this reward. And that reward is based on their level of remuneration, meaning a certain percentage of their remuneration will be the reward. So for example, if a person who earns, let's say, 3,000 ringgit per month, the reward can be something like 500 to 800 ringgit for every 3 months. So basically, this is the kind of things we use to assist them.
So when you say it's a group reward, because across the board, I'm just asking, can someone who is underperforming, can they actually ride on the others and gain the same kind of reward? Would you be able to tell the difference?
Yes. What we do is like this. In fact, every day, their performance is being monitored by their. That's why earlier I told you we have from the board of directors comes down is the managers. The managers comes down is the we call it the section head. Then after section head are the line leaders. Now the line leaders and the section heads, they will do the daily tabulation of each and every employee. let's say the amount of pieces they're supposed to clear per day, or the amount of well they need to do per day, or the machine, let's say even CNC machining is normally on piece, how many pieces they can clear. So basically these are the productivity targets or KPIs they must achieve. And if they cannot achieve or they manage, we will give them some kind of point system. It's a point system. With the points, then they get this reward times the rate.
Okay. How about you, Chan? What do you think? How do you actually think the reward should be? Group-based, individual, based on your experience as an HR person?
Yeah, thanks for the questions. I in my 2 cents, I believe that both group and individuals. For example, certain jobs require the team working together, so the reward must be based on performance of the team.
Okay.
Yeah, individual because of, for example, like sales. Yeah, we are from the insurance company. They are showing the individual sales target. He achieved it. Of course, that is the reward based on individual. But they come with another reward for the team as well. So they have different kind of measurements. So depends on what is your objective, what you want to achieve. Yeah, that is the main point. Yeah, so as mentioned, the reward must be very transparent, rules and punishment as well. So with a very clear target, yeah, people will work hard for it. Yeah, thanks. Hope that answer your question.
Yeah, okay. So Joey, does that answer your question? I hope it does, yeah. Now I have some questions also. Now the new norm is that you mentioned just now, Mr. Yi, that some people find working from home is more productive. Your ChemCat, yeah? They find that it's much better to work at home. And some people find that working at home is a torture because they have, the family around them and things like that. It's not conducive to work at home, so they don't become productive at all. But the new norm now says that people should be able to work from anywhere.
Yeah.
Now, in your particular industry, is this applicable to be able to work from anywhere? I'm talking about not the general workers. I'm talking about, from the management side or from the supervisor side or designer side. Are you going to, encourage work from anywhere, or you prefer for them to be physically at your site? What would be the direction of some Hing?
Actually, with the MCO, the last 1.5 years, we have been running this work from home way. We noticed that some of the work, like for example, camp, definitely is okay. You can work from home, and also can be monitored because the number of drawings or the number of product they do can be monitored. They hand back the drawings to the office. Then, so basically, we can monitor the workload. The work. Anything that you can monitor and you can record, then is okay to work from home. Basically,
or from anywhere.
Yeah. Now, for us, even until today, where the plant is, for example, we are on phase 4 today. Everybody is back to 100% operation. We still have a few of my staff are still working from home. The reason is because they have young children, and they don't have any more maids or helpers. Because during the last 2 years they went back, then they cannot come back. So basically, this staff, they requested us to let them work from home. So for example, like our accounts, definitely they can work from home. Cam not so much, but the cat team can. Nowadays, our cam, some of them also working from home. So these are the areas.
So as an employer, yeah. What you are changing with times. You're innovating to suit the new norms.
Yep.
To get the best productivity, to get your best the productivity from your workers. Yeah. So this is what you're doing now, so that you accommodate the requests from your employees because of certain factors like they don't have a maid, etc.
Yeah.
But yet you actually monitor or gauge their performance via the things that they send in to us. So it's all about monitoring, right? Now we have a question here. Okay. Now this is by Mr. Wong. Okay. Now he says, in the event of MCO, if the company didn't treat an employee, the welfare of an employee, all right, fairly, he did not elaborate what's fairly there. Now, is it legal to go to the labor court filing and things like that, or what is an alternative? I mean, if you want to answer, if not, we will just give him advice on what to do. What do you think, Mr. Yee?
Okay. I try to answer. Now, during the MCO, a lot of out of the ordinary, there are many things. For example, when you are given for example, the government allow us to operate at 60% headcount, and some of the employee, they said they prefer not to come back because number one, they have to go through all the roadblocks. Number two, they feel unsafe in the plant because of they call it the factory cluster and things like that. So during those times, you really have to explain to the individual how we do it is we explain to them that the most important is the final product. That means let's say, for example, for us is the customer want that particular mold at that particular time. We have to deliver. And if we don't deliver, the next time they might not even send any order to us anymore. So you lose your market share. Now we explain to our team very well on this, and we also really seriously look at where they stay. If they stay too far, we also encourage them not to come. And those that are staying closer to the plant, yes, definitely we encourage them to come to the factory every day. Now, as per just now the question of welfare, when he say welfare, it could be the salary or things like that. So now a lot of employer during the MCO, especially when they are not allowed to operate, a lot of them implement the pay cut. This is something everybody have to agree on. But before the pay cut, you have to discuss with the team, with the workers. If they agree, then there's no issue. And at this moment, talking about the labor department, I think they have many complaints from workers against their employer because as you can see, there are many of these problems are not standard. It's a non-standard problem. That's why no side is right. So basically, this will be carry on. But just explain, be honest, explain to them, show them the results. Then I think we are all human. We will bear the circumstances. I hope that answer some of his question.
Okay, so I hope, and Chan, you want to add anything?
Yeah, if I may, I would like to give my 2 cents as well. Talking about employee welfare is quite general, so we have to know the specific what kind of welfare. If you're talking about allowances or maybe other subsidy, yes, you can. This can be cut. Yeah, without informing the labor office. We just need to discuss with our employees. But of course, the employee, he or she has a right to file the case in labor office. We can't stop it. So, but however, labor office is something like they will play the role as coordinators. They will assist both of the parties to solve that problem. So no worry if because of the employee filed the case in labor office, we can always discuss. But if talking about the pay cut, basic salary, yes, we have to inform this labor office. We have to get consent from them. At the same time, we need to get consent from at least 80% of our total employees. Must agree about that. So, and this is the beauty of PRWS, Productivity Linked Wages System. I keep on emphasizing on this PRWS. The main reason is it's based on productivity. If you your sales getting better, of course there is profit sharing. But one day, because of this COVID-19 or maybe any other disaster or something that our sales drop, then the loss is there. So we have to share the cost, we have to take the accountability. So all of us actually work in a team. So the employees should know about this culture of accountability. We do the profit sharing, and also we take this accountability to share the losses. So all of us actually in a big family, we work together and achieve the goal. That is my 2 cents. We have this kind of sense in the organization. So that is the things that we can build up this accountability and also the sense of ownership. That is my 2 cents. Thank you.
Okay, so Mr. Wong, I hope that gives you some form of closure or answer to this. Now I have a question here. So Mr. Yee, you mentioned that during interview, you actually inform the applicant that they will have to go through a series of different job scopes, yeah, and that they will be rotated through the different skills so that they can be put anywhere in the skills. So what happens if they don't want to be part of that? I'm sure you have come across employees who says, no, I just want to do this. I don't want to do what you've suggested. How do you encourage them? How do you, get them to move into your kind of system of rotation?
Okay. Just now I did mention in some Hing, whenever there's a new employee that comes in, during the interview, we will highlight to them, tell them what we require them to do or what we expect them to perform. Then after that, we even ask them what they think they can achieve in a certain period. Let's say 3 to 5 years time, where you want to be. With this tool, we will explain to them. For example, initially we tell them what we expect them to do. Then later we ask them what you want to achieve. Then we try to match this tool with them. And after the interview, when they report to work, we have what we call the buddy system. So for example, if it's a girl, we always let a female staff to handle back this young new recruit. So within the next 3 months, this new person will be under this brother or sister. And normally this brother or sister, elder brother or sister, is always have been with something for at least maybe 8 to 12 years kind of experience. So they roughly know whether they can cope with something kind of working environment. So after the 3 months of probation, then they report to the HR what this person is capable of. Then we also look at during the interview what they want to be, what they want to achieve. Then we try to match back that area and tell them, okay, when you come to interview, you want to be here, here, here. Now we are going to place you here first. Then after you complete this is the next one. And like you say, if they don't want to be rotated or they don't want to be shifted, we still can use them because in fact, in any job area, you need specialists who are basically full-time in that area. So it's not a problem actually.
Right,
If they don't want to be rotated, we will train them differently.
all right. Okay,
This is how we do.
Chan, you want to give your 2 cents worth, or give a statement here?
Yeah, thanks again. So in my opinions, so as mentioned, we have to know what is the core value of the company. For example, if this continuously learning is one of your company core value, so it means that all the employees, they must really understand the objective, the core value of the companies, and make a change, because that is the core value. That is also a definition of talents, as I mentioned in my presentation slides just now. So, of course, some person, they are not willing to make a change, they're not willing to learn. Yes, experience that. So what we need to do is mention the carrot and stick. Yeah, we have to make it balanced. Yeah, to have all this, I believe that the person will be motivated. The person not willing to make a change, maybe because of the reward is not so attractive, maybe, or maybe the punishment is not there. Yeah, that's the reason. So we try to make it balanced and get the balance point. Yeah, that is my 2 cents again. Thank you.
Okay, thank you. Just now you mentioned, both of you, Mr. Chan, about the programs, and Mr. Yu about using the program, a user of the programs by the government, example, TVET, ILB, and all that, and that you're able to source your skilled workers from, these institutions. Do you have actually, when you say you work closely with them, can companies actually, when they work closely with these institutions, can they actually tell them what they want to meet to the, to the skills required for their particular industry? Would this institution be friendly to, to allow for your syllabus to include your kind of skills requirement?
Okay.
See?
Okay. Now, for example, in Hing, we do work closely with the training centers. What we do is like this: every year, they do have the open house in the training center. They invite us, we go there, and then we speak to the lecturers or the trainers there. And then at the same time, we inform them roughly how many interns or how many trainees we expect to recruit for that particular period.
Right.
And then we also ask them, do they have? Now, if they say they have, then we said, okay. For example, we say we need 6 trainees from your institution for this, let's say, machinists, let's say milling. So they say, yes, we have. They're going to graduate in a certain number of months later. Then from that day onwards, normally we will arrange an interview with the trainee through the training center. We will go there and interview those 6 or 8 boys or girls. At the same time, most of these training centers nowadays, they work on how should I say? They work on this new training scheme where it's an on-off training, meaning they will be in the training center for, let's say, 6 months, then they'll be in the industry for 3 months, then they go back for another 3 months, then they graduate or something like that. So this is where we get hold of them, interview them, then we assure them a place to work even after they graduate. So that's how we work with training centers.
Okay. That's good. So for business owners, I think Mr. Yee has just given you an insight on how you can work together with these training centers in order to get your skilled workers. Now, Mr. Chan himself is a trainer. All right. So if you need to discuss this further, I'm sure Mr. Chan is ever willing to assist all of you here. Maybe you want to type in your email address or how they can contact you in the chat box, Chan, see you, so that, I'm sure there's many of us here, people like me, who's always asking questions, because sometimes we assume we know something, but in actual fact, when it comes to practicing, we find that there are certain things that we are not sure of. And then we have, the people like you, Mr. Yee, Mr. Chan, experts in this field who can guide us to make better decisions or more informed decisions, yeah? Because in this ever-changing landscape now, things are moving so fast because of the pandemic. Things are not like normal before. So we need to innovate all the time. If not, we cannot be relevant, or we cannot continue to perform as a company, right? So another question here. Okay. When just now you mentioned about this this buddy system, Mr. Yee, okay? Yep. Mr. Chan also, okay. Buddy system that you work together with abang or with a kakak, Chee, or to work together. So how do you know these two people can actually work together? Because this is human, it's not easy to match, especially two strangers together. So how does the HR come in, and select these people so that it doesn't disrupt the flow of the work? Yeah.
Now, normally, for example, if the new recruit is, let's say, a boy, and he says, I'm interested in to become a machinist of, let's say, milling machine. Okay. Now, we know he's interested in milling. We know how to look at his performance. So we will, for example, if he's a Malay boy, for example, we will always put him back with a Malay senior. Okay. If it's an Indian boy and an Indian senior, girl and boys are same. We do it that way, so that it's easier for them to learn and open up, because we are going to introduce this new person into the family, the Hing family.
I like that. I like that.
So basically, the easiest way is the same religion or the same culture. At least they know. So and we also tell this young person or even the senior, if you within the first 2-3 days, if both of you feel you are not syncing, not in line, you must raise your hand to the HR. HR will take away this person and put it to another senior again. Because sometimes really it happens. We don't want them to stick on for the next 3 months and they are in trouble. So we rather within that, when there's a red flag, we will move in. This is how we do.
Okay, so we come to the end of our session today, our webinar. I think this is very interesting because it's about real life happening, using theory to actually incorporate into our real life situations. And Mr. Yee is sharing your experience, Mr. Chan too, So I think we benefited a lot from this session. I did anyway, a lot. Okay, thank you very much. So any last parting words before we say goodbye to everybody?
First of all, I'd like to thank the MEPN for giving my company a small slot to to explain, because a lot of time, a lot of people would like to know how something achieve things like this. So basically, this is a very good platform.
Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you. Mr. Chen?
Yeah, I would like to grab this opportunity to say thanks to MPC, Mr. E. Yeah, thanks for your precious time, Amy as
you.
well, and all the participants over here. Thanks for your precious time to participating in. The main reason we have this webinar is to move forward, work together, join our activity, and we work together. We are not just something like just sharing later on without any follow-up. No, we are not doing all this. What we need to do is to increase labor productivity. So we work together and achieve the objective. Understand that because of COVID-19 pandemic, all of us, we are suffering. Yeah, I say so, we are suffering. But it doesn't matter, and this is not an obstacle. The important point is we work together. Yeah, so we do some information sharing. Of course, maybe that is not the best knowledge, but the thing is, the important point is we get some hints from there. So maybe we can make some change because of certain hints over there. Yeah, this is my 2 cents. Thanks a lot again.
Thank you, thank you. So thank you once again, Mr. Yi, Mr. Chan. To all of you, thank you so much for being with us today. And I really hope that you are, you're able to have a good takeaway from this. Thank you. Assalamualaikum. Goodbye.
Okay, bye-bye.